Hello everyone. I have a question for you. Have you ever tried to crochet a jute cord? I haven't, so I'm going to try it today. So I grabbed this jute cording. It's in the color Seafoam and Natural. I think it'll turn out really good. So I have that one, and I grabbed the crochet hook in the size K. I want to create a chime out of this masterpiece I plan to make. And I hope that you will join me for this idea. You are going to need a few supplies for this project. Of course, you're going to need some jute cording in the color you want. You're going to need a crochet hook. I'm going with the larger size. Pick the size you want to work with. I will also be using these wooden beads that I found, and my supply is from Dollar Tree, in case you are wondering. You can also find crochet hooks at Dollar Tree now. And this is all part of the shore living. And I have these beads on here. See, they look like this. They're square. And I want to maintain that natural color. I'm hoping it'll look really good on my project. I also grabbed some seashells. I have some pretty clam shells that I want to add. I will probably stay with the white colors because, you know, it comes in different colors, right? So I think I will stay with the white tones. I also have some tassels that I want to attach. These tassels are from a previous project, and I think it'll look really good for what I have in mind. Besides my tassels, I grabbed some ribbon. I have the striped one. It's got pretty seafoam colors in there. You see that? I also grabbed this one. It's a coral color with some pretty shells on there. I want to work this into my project. We'll see how this works out. But I have all that close by. I will let you know if I use any additional items to complete my project. I am now ready to crochet. Let's see. I'm going to give myself a little tail. This way I can attach this to... Well, you know what? I just noticed. I didn't grab a dowel. Let me see. I have some dowels tucked away somewhere. I'll grab that in a moment. But let's see. Let me concentrate on my crochet. I'm gonna do a simple crochet. Nothing too elaborate. Just I'm gonna chain stitch, and I want a nice length on my crochet chain, I guess. So I'm going to go about 16 inches. So I want to be able to see this in my backyard. I don't want it like disappearing into the scenery. And look, it's not that difficult to do. Nice, right? Now, I want to get the beads in here. I saw this project. A lady, she was crocheting with thread and seed beads. That's where I got this idea. So, since I'm using a whole roll, the method she was using is not going to work. So, I'm just going to take that bead like that. You see how I loop the bead in there, and then bring that back. Get my chain right in there and continue on. Look at that. See how easy that's done? Oh, I like this. So I think that, so my table is a ruler already, but let me just grab another ruler. Maybe, well, you know what? I don't want a complete even spacing between my beads, so wherever I feel like I will add a bead. If you want yours to fall at a certain inch from the last bead, go ahead and do that. You know, have your ruler ready so you can measure that out. So I'm ready for the next one. Slide that in there. And catch there. There we go. See how it falls on my chain stitch? Look at that. I like it. So I love to do lifetime crafting. So I don't have anything ready to show you. I make up stuff as I go. It's the best method I have to share. Okay, let's see. Get that in there. I think I want it to maybe a rectangle shape with the fringes is coming down. That might be a way to do. Or you could take create like a T bracket at the top, or you know, like a hanger, a cross hanger like this, and you can hang it from there too, right? So where am I at? I'm at 12. So my table is 12, 14, 16. So the length I have right here on my pattern is 16 inches. So I need that length. I will add other stuff to the bottom. Maybe. We'll see. I think another bead right here would be good. So if you ever have problems getting thread or jute cording in, you know, through the hole on the bead, give it a twirl. That helps. You know, kind of like you're screwing in something. So a couple more probably. So there we go. And I don't want to tug on the chain. I just want it to fall naturally. So right there is good. And then I'm gonna cut this, but I want to leave myself some threading. And then when you're at the end of your chain, just pull the whole thread through like that, and then pull. There we go. See, it is now secure. So I have several more of these to make. I'm going to put that aside and start on the next one. This is what I have right now. And I have about half the roll of the jute cord left. I also saved some of the beads. I think this is about one garland of beads left over, so in case I need it for completing my project or a future project, whichever one. So let's see. I have not counted to see how many I made of these chains. So just kind of lining them up right now. See, like that. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? There's another one. And the last one. So let's see. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, I have 16. And this looks a good amount right here. It looks really good, doesn't it? Just like this. Now, I did go outside and I cut myself a piece of branch. So just make sure yours is long enough for however many strands you have. Let me see. Mine is 16 inches. I do have a piece of string left on each end of my crochet, so this is where this comes in handy. I'm going to drop my chain stitch about 1/4 of an inch below the branch, and then I'm going to wrap. And then when I wrap my branch, I want to make sure I run my wrap on each side of the strand and switch back and forth so I have it like that. And then I will just tie this off. If you want to use a special knot, that's fine. That's good. See, like this. And then I'll trim some of this down. Not too much, maybe leave an inch of the thread. Because this is going to fray and then it's going to look puffy up here on top, so which is good, right? So I have that, and then on to the next one. So let's see. I guess you can like do one on this side and then put another chain on the right side and then kind of fill it in, right? That might be a good way to space out your chains. Let's see. This one. And then when I tie them, I'm going to try to keep them on the same side of the branch. remember to, when you do your chaining stitching, to leave a length at the end. Don't trim your cording too short. I mean, if you accidentally do cut it, it's not a problem. Just add another cord to it. Okay, and then the next one. this is what mine looks like. I like it. Now, I did not count them as I was making them, right? But it worked out pretty well. I put 2 on the ends, and I put 3 in the center. And then whatever is left, I divided up and put it in the section here and on the side. So I have 5 on this side and 4 on that side. But I mean, it works out. Look, it looks pretty good. And then over here, I had put them close together, but I think I will slide this one over if it'll let me. And same thing here. If it doesn't, then it's still fine. There we go. On the bottom, this is what it looks like. You see there? It looks very pleasing to the eye, doesn't it? And all them beads in there, it makes it even prettier. I'm glad I stayed with the neutral colors. So for the hanger, I'm going to go ahead and take this ribbon and just tie it off on the end. Put a knot in here. And I just want to make sure I have the color on the outside when I knot it, like that. Right? Okay, and then I'll go across and do the same thing on this side. Yeah, that looks really good, doesn't it? I like that color. I want to add in some shells. And I have my shells here. I went maybe about this size. See? I think this is a good size. So that one has pink. I don't want to do pink. Oh. And I need something to tie my shells off with. So I'll grab some of this, and I want to add the shells. I still want some of that curl on the bottom. So like maybe around this section right here. So I'll just put my string through one of these crochet loops here. Like that. And then attach a shell. And I want it to dangle just a little bit, not too much though. Like maybe about like that. And put in knots right here. That's good, right? And I'm going to trim that tail down so it'll hang like this. And I still have a bit of the but chain stitching on the bottom. So okay, let me readjust right here, and then I'm going to work on adding in the seashells. I have a couple of more shells, extra shells that I need to add in. So I've noticed the best thing to do is to hold it up and see where the shells fall. You have a better idea of the placement. Let's see. This one, I'm going to put another one on this one. There we go. Like all these threadings down here. If you want to trim them shorter, that's fine. Because mine are pretty much about the same size. Because I used the longer endings at the top to secure it on the wrench. This is pretty good. Right here. If you want to put something else on here on the bottom, like I still have some wooden beads. We can even add some of this on the bottom, right? Just to make it look pretty. So it'll look like this, right, at the end. So that's another option. You can also add in other wood cutouts. Like these shells here, you can add this back in at the bottom of your chime. Like down here, you can put these back in here and they can wave in the wind. It'll be pretty. I have some starfish. I also have this one. This is cute too. Got a little sailboat on there. I also have these shells. But if you get something like this, you can always poke a hole in there. Get a small drill and drill a hole in there. You can add those in. I think I would like to go ahead and add another piece right here. Let's see. I could just use another ribbon like this. This way, it gives you the option, right, to tie this onto a branch in case you can't slide your tie onto a branch or a hook. Let's see, I'm gonna, I think this is a good length right here. I'm gonna cut that off and then just tie this off right in the center here. So like this, and then I can take this and tie it into a branch or on a hook or something. If you know the size of, like, if you're using a shepherd hook and you know the size, you can go ahead and put a knot in there like this. And then that way you can just slip it onto your hook like that, right? And then I would just like adjust the ribbon so you can see the colors facing forward. Cute, right? So here we go. I am happy with my new coastal wind chime. Yeah, so you can crochet a wind chime now. Isn't that awesome? I like the way it looks. So instead of just a string hanging down, put a little pattern on there, right? Like that. Isn't that cute? I like the chain stitch. Now you can get as elaborate as you want with these stitches. How awesome. I am happy with my new wind chime. Oh, this is so cute. I like the way it turned out. I am quite happy with it. Here's my new crocheted wind chime. I like the way it turned out. It looks very good. Let me get you a little closer so you can see all the crocheting I did. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? And then all the way down. You see the shells on the bottom there? That is nice, right? Let me give it a shake. I don't have a breeze going on right now. Look at that. I like the way the shells are clean and making that beautiful sound. It looks really good. Very, very pretty. I hope you like my new crocheted wind chime, and you make one for yourself too. Thank you for stopping by. I will see you next time.